Hello and welcome to Boomerang Beyond Wellness and the Have It Your Way workout series. I'm Angela Fischetti. So today's deep dive is into actually two exercises in one. We're going to work the outer thighs. So this is a hip abduction movement where you're moving away from the midline of the body. And then we're working the inner thighs on the return to the midline of the body with hip adduction work. Now the accessories we'll be using today, pretty simple, sticky yoga mat. I'm using my yoga chair, which I love for demonstration purposes and to do my own work on the chair as well. However, if you don't have a yoga chair, please, you can definitely feel free to use a standard folding chair, but no armrests and please no casters, even if they lock in place. Also, I have a cushion underneath my butt because when you work in the chair, it's really important to make sure that the acetobulofemoral joint, also known as the coxal joint, is a bit higher than the tibiofemoral joint of the knee. Other thing I want to point out to you when you're sitting in a chair, and some of us might have to be in the chair a lot for work or maybe for health, right? So these are good tips for you. You want to bring your ankles ever so slightly forward of the knees. You don't want to tuck your feet underneath. For some reason, I do find that when people sit in a folding chair, they kind of go like this and they become like a little kid, right? No, we want you up tall and I want your joints in proper place for you so that you don't get hurt. And then I will also be using a pair of adjustable ankle weights. I have 2.5 pounds in mine. I have to caution you folks, please, even if you're very seasoned at strength training and even at strength training in a chair, which can be very different from standing, please avoid heavier weights because they can and almost always will wind up pulling on your lower back. So we want to avoid that. Now, this moves me right into the medical disclaimers and precautionary measures. Yeah, if you have low back issues, got to pay attention to make sure your feet, when we're doing it upright here and we're going out and in, sometimes people let the feet just kind of sag down, those lower legs just drop. Again, that's going to pull on that lower back. So keep them up high. If you have a latex allergy, well, the mat and the cushion are made out of latex. So you do want to look for non-latex or latex free. If you have osteoporosis of the spine or the postural deviation known as hyperkyphosis, where we're kind of hunched in appearance, please do not forward flex or bend down. Just make sure you're fully upright. And if you have any type of shoulder injury, because guess what? I'm tying in some upper body work with this isometrically. You might want to find out and show the video to your medical practitioner in general. If you have any chronic health condition, folks, please preview the video before participating, but look for what you can do. And if you're unsure, then I would invite your medical healthcare practitioner to preview the video as well to help you make an informed decision. So if you have some pre-existing shoulder injury, you might want to show this one to the medical doctor. And also, if you have osteoporosis of the hip or you've had a hip replacement, be very mindful. Pay attention to what I'm saying in this session with you, because it's very important that you just don't flop your legs open as wide as possible. I designed this specifically to help those of you with the pre-existing hip issues I just mentioned. So we want to make sure we keep you within a limited range of motion, and it helps the rest of us because guess what? It keeps us on muscle, not overdoing it on the joints. This channel is about strength training, not endurance, but of course, strength training does help endurance. So now, regarding the muscles that are benefited, well, I have this big board in front of me and I have a long list of the muscles that are activated here. So we mentioned the outer thigh, that would be the hip abductor group, and then we have the hip adductor group. Of course, we have abdominal involvement, so part of the core muscles. We have the back erector muscles involved. Also, core muscles. You're going to feel your quadriceps, your hamstrings, the gluteals, then the deep lateral hip rotator muscles are involved, in particular the largest one called the piriformis. The sartorius muscle is involved here. And what else? Yes, now let's talk about how I add in the isometric upper body work. They're going to affect your biceps, your triceps, and those deltoid muscles of the shoulders. Lots of muscles involved. That's really great for us for a healthy aging process. And now, the activities of daily living that are benefited. Do you have a paper and pen? Because there's a lot here to discuss with you. Walking, running, it's excellent for your balance. Standing up, lateral movement, moving side to side. I'm beginning to hear racket sports. Yes, this will help that. If you're into dancing or hiking, getting in and out of your car, starting to sound familiar, maybe getting up and down from that commode. Yes, squatting will be benefited by this. Stair climbing. And it's also excellent. These two exercises are excellent to help you if you have to do like a quick change of direction. Very helpful for that. And also this will aid your mobility. Remember, the mobility has to do with the movements of the joints. It's not flexibility, it's not strength, but yeah, that will affect both as well. Agility is benefited, and these two exercises done as one will also help prevent injury. Okay, now a couple of gentle reminders. Always feel free to stop and rest whenever you need to when you're working out on your own. Now, this is not a workout, but it is a good tip. Also, keep yourselves properly hydrated with water. But maybe you've been medically advised not to drink a lot of water, maybe for kidney or bladder issues. You follow that advice. Now, on the channel, I want you to look for a video that we have pinned there. And it's a warm-up and a cool-down video, just one video where you can interchange the movements. It's really important for those of us 55 years and above to warm up for a full 10 minutes prior to any full workout. And also, while you're there at the channel, I want you to please to go to the post tab, and in there you're going to find the link to the rating of perceived exertion chart. Now, this is a 0 through 10 subjective scale, and it's an excellent tool to help you gauge your sense of effort. Specifically, the chart we have there is for strength training purposes from the Cleveland Clinic. And so for this particular channel, I want you to look at an RPE between 3 and 6. Very useful for those of you on certain medications like beta blockers, or maybe you have a pacemaker, or maybe you just don't know how to take your training heart rate. And also with every video, as far as in the Have It Your Way workout series, you're going to find a link to a reference article or a reference study. There will be a reference image as well as reference screenshots. Now, what are we going to do here today with the outer and inner thighs? Hip abduction, hip adduction. Well, as always, we're going to do one set, and a set is typically a group of 8 to 15 repetitions. I'm going to break this down a little differently today, folks, but we will definitely be getting in those 15 repetitions. So sitting a little forward. Now, I like to, as much as possible, not lean all the way back into the chair. However, if having distance between your back and the back of the chair is just too stressful on you, then that's a yoga bolster right there. You can put a yoga bolster behind you or a nice thick pillow to help you stay upright. Now I'm going to bring the feet and knees together, all the way together. Super important, keep your feet flat at all times, because sometimes on this exercise I see people starting to do that. Don't let that happen, because the idea here that I've incorporated is stability of the ankle joints, also to help the strength of the feet, even down to the toes, folks. So now, sitting tall, belly button is in, I'm going to slowly open those thighs. I never bring the thighs any wider than the seat of the chair, right? And then I slowly close. And this is how those of you with osteoporosis of the hip, hip replacement could possibly do hip abduction and hip adduction. Again, you can talk to your medical doctor and find out if this range of motion will work for you. And now, we've just done 2 repetitions slowly because it's about strength, not endurance, right? But maybe how do you level this up if you cannot lift your legs off the floor? Take the hands to the outside of your thighs, not your hips, not your knees, and not on top. Yes, when I teach this on site, I see all variations. I just want the hands to the outside of the thighs. Now, immediately I'm getting my chest up tall by pushing down into the feet. I'm pushing my hands into my thighs, activating my bicep muscles right away. Those elbows are flexed, bent, which means biceps are already engaged. The deltoid muscles of the shoulders, the abs, the back erectors are all working now. And I'm going to slowly push the hands into the thighs and the thighs into the hands, not sickling the feet. Now stay there. Take the hands, turn them, place the palms to the inner thighs, shoulders back and down, and I'm going to push both into each other. You can literally see my legs shaking as I do this. Hands to the outer thighs, slowly open. Take your time. Pause at the peak of the contraction. Breath is in and out through the nose. Ooh, man, I feel this. And yes, we are working those hands and wrists for our muscles. Oh, so much going on. And one more time like this. Take your time to slowly open. Pause at the peak right there. And oh, you see how that foot wants to go? I got to get that thing flat. Hands to the inside and slowly push it all together. Puff up your chest. Don't let the abs pull you down, folks. And then relax it. And if your hands are a little bit like, wow, that's tough, just shake them out. Maybe flap the wrists a little bit. Now, I'm going to sit back into the chair. And I'm going to ask you to hold on. We're going to dorsiflex the feet. That's toes to the knees, toes to the nose, whatever image works best for you. And I slowly open again. Thighs no wider than the seat of the chair. Your ankles are going to go wider only because that's how the body is structured. We slowly come in. Notice I'm not touching. So some of you might recognize this movement from the gym and the machine. Well, many times people on the gym go far too wide, aggravating the tiny little TFL muscle, that tensor fascial latae. You aggravate that, you're not going to like me or this exercise. So I'm holding there and I'm not clanking the feet together. Now, how do I level this up? Well, you have to promise to not fall off the chair and slowly open. Now, my back is all the way back into the chair, but not just my back, my butt as well. I find sometimes people take me very literally. My back is touching the chair, but they're leaning back. So let's make sure you scoot that butt all the way back into the chair so that you're sitting up tall from the lower back. Pause at the peak. Don't let those ankles drop down, folks, right? Lots of work on those quadricep muscles, those shin muscles. And hold here. Lower. Oof, I'm feeling it. And slowly take it down. So now I'm going to tie in my ankle weights. Now you know that I love the adjustable ankle weights for this channel, the demographic of the channel, I should say, because these are quarter-pound increments, which means it's a very safe way to level up. Okay, holding on. Take them up, full dorsiflexion. Now that we have the weight, the feet might want to drop down. Don't let it happen, please. And slowly close. Pause. Slowly open. And slowly close. I'm going to level it up now, and I'm going to say it again. Don't fall off the chair. Slowly open. If you're the least bit, just you have a little trepidation about not holding on, hold on, please. Slowly open, pause. Whew, lots of fire going on here. Slowly close, but don't clank them together like people do at the gym. One more. We're going to open, pause, and slowly close. Lower the arms first, grab the chair, and slowly lower the legs. So that's what we have for you today, folks, here at the Have It Your Way workout series at Boomer and Beyond Wellness. Folks, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so, because it will really help us get these videos out to lots more people who have chronic health concerns and conditions. It's very important, folks, that they have a channel to turn to figure out how to exercise for themselves. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Maybe share the video with some people who are a little bit concerned about working out, and maybe they've been injured in the past, right? And so that's what we have for you today. And until next time, eat your greens, eat your beans, drink your water, and thanks so much for your support.